All right, let's talk about something we all go through. You know that feeling when you just pop into the grocery store for a carton of milk and somehow you walk out $100 poorer? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden psychology of the supermarket and show you exactly how every single aisle is designed to do just that, make you spend more. I mean, it's such a familiar feeling, right? You walk in, you've got a list, you've got a plan. I just need milk and bread, you tell yourself. But then, bam, you're at the checkout, staring at a full cart of stuff you had absolutely no intention of buying. So, what on earth just happened?
Well, the answer is actually pretty simple and honestly kind of unsettling. It's not you. Your overspending isn't some personal failure of willpower. It's by design. The entire store, from the second you walk through those automatic doors to the moment you swipe your card, it's all a carefully crafted psychological trap, and it's built with one single goal: getting you to spend more money.
Okay, so let's start our little tour right at the very beginning, the entrance. This is what you could call the manipulation zone. It's the first point of contact, and believe me, the store is already working its magic on your brain before you've even touched a shopping cart. So think about it for a second. What's the very first thing that hits you when you walk in? It's the smell, right? It's almost always that incredible scent of fresh bread from the bakery or maybe a beautiful display of flowers. And that is absolutely not an accident. See, that smell does something really specific on a biological level. It literally activates your salivary glands. It makes you feel hungry. And what happens when you're a hungry shopper? You become an impulsive shopper. It's like your stomach suddenly starts making all the decisions. And that logical part of your brain, the one that walked in with a list, yeah, that gets completely switched off. Okay, next up, you grab a shopping cart. And have you even noticed how huge these things have gotten? I mean, they have literally doubled in size over the past couple of decades. And there's a really powerful psychological reason for that. Studies have shown that a bigger, emptier looking cart creates this subconscious urge to, well, fill it up. And that little trick can make you buy up to 40% more stuff. Crazy, right? So you've got your giant cart, your mouth is watering, and now you're on the hunt for the actual things you came for. But wait, where are they? The milk, the eggs, the meat? They're always, and I mean always, tucked away at the very, very back of the store. And that is no accident. It's a very deliberate strategy. Yeah, this is really the core principle of the whole layout. They make you walk through what I like to call a temptation gauntlet. Just to get to the milk you need, you are forced to walk past thousands of things you might suddenly want. The chips, the cookies, the sodas, all those shiny end cap displays. It just dramatically increases the chances that you'll grab a few extra things along the way. All right, so now that we're deep in the aisles, the mind games get even more subtle. We've got to talk about shelf placement, because trust me, where a product sits on a shelf is absolutely everything. There's a golden rule in retail, and it's super simple. Eye level is buy level. That's it. Our eyes just naturally drift to the middle of the shelves, and companies will pay a fortune for that prime real estate. Why? Because they know that where you look is where you're going to spend your money. And there's this whole hidden hierarchy on every shelf. Right there at your eye level, that's where they put the most expensive premium brand name stuff, the things with the highest profit margins. If you want the cheaper, generic store brands, you literally have to work for it. You got to look all the way up or crouch all the way down. And then there's the sneakiest level of all, kids' eye level. That's where you'll find all the sugary cereals with cartoon mascots that are literally designed to make eye contact with your kids sitting in the cart. It's genius, in a devious way. So because of that clever placement, you're just way more likely to grab the fancy brand, and you end up paying what's called the brand name tax. You'll see a price difference just like this all the time, where the well-marketed version costs more than double the no-name one right next to it, or, well, right below it. But here's the kicker. Are they really any different? I mean, really. If you take 2 seconds to flip them over and look at the ingredients, you'll often find out the secret. A lot of the time, the ingredients are exactly the same. You're not paying for better beans, you're just paying for the flashy marketing, the prettier box, and that expensive spot on the shelf. All right, let's talk about another common illusion. Let's head over to the produce section. You know those little misters that spray the vegetables every few minutes, making them look all fresh and dewy? It looks great, doesn't it? Like they're being kept super fresh. Well, the truth is, it's mostly for show. That shiny layer of water makes the veggies look pretty and vibrant under the store's bright lights, but what it's really doing is adding water weight, which you pay for at the scale, and it can actually make things like leafy greens spoil way faster once you get them home. So much for freshness.
Okay, so with all these pricing tricks, how do you fight back? I'm going to give you your new superpower, the unit price. You need to start ignoring that big, flashy price tag. The real price, the most important number on that label, is the tiny one. The price per ounce or per pound. That is the only way you can actually compare apples to apples, so to speak. And this is especially crucial when you're looking at those big family-size packages. We all just assume that buying in bulk is cheaper, right? Bigger must be a better deal. But you have to check the math. You'd be shocked how often the unit price on the bigger box is actually more expensive. They are literally counting on you not to check. All right, you've navigated the smells, you resisted the urge to fill your giant cart, you've survived the aisles. You've made it to the finish line, or so you think. The store has one last, really powerful trap waiting for you, the checkout line. See, by the time you actually get to the front of the store, your brain is just tired. Think about it. You've just spent the last half hour making hundreds of tiny decisions. Which brand of pasta? Which apples look best? Paper or plastic? It's a real thing, and it's called decision fatigue. And this is precisely why the checkout aisles are a minefield of candy, sodas, and magazines. Your willpower is completely drained, your brain is exhausted, and it's looking for a quick, easy reward. And what's right there in front of you? Cheap, high-sugar, high-profit items. It's the perfect trap for a tired mind. Okay, so now that we know we're walking into this psychological battlefield, how do we actually win the grocery game? How do you take back control of your wallet? Well, it's actually simpler than you might think. Here is your 3-step defense plan. It's super simple, and it completely messes with the store's strategy. Step 1, eat before you go. Never, ever shop hungry. That disarms the whole scent trap. Step 2, if you only need a few things, grab a basket, not a cart. The physical limit of what you can carry prevents you from overfilling it. And step 3, stick to the perimeter. Most of the real food, produce, dairy, meat, it's all on the outer walls. This lets you bypass that whole processed food temptation gauntlet in the middle. So what's the big takeaway from all this? It's simple. Awareness is your best weapon. The grocery store is an incredibly well-designed environment built to get your money. But now you know the playbook. So the next time you walk through those automatic doors, the choice is yours. Are you going to be a smart shopper or are you going to be a manipulated one?